Hello, I'm Bruno Taverne, the Sales and Partners Manager of M81, and I want to thank Roland to accept to testimony on his experience on one of our products, 5-4i, and I leave him the microphone. Thank you, Roland.
Hi, thanks, Bruno. My name is Roland Marietta. I'm working in Geodis company, and I'm also working in IBM on IBM I systems since 10 years. So what is Geodis? Geodis is a transport and logistic company with an headquarters based in Paris, 120 countries, and around 30,000 people are working for Geodis. It's the fourth chain supplier in Europe and the 11th in the world. It has been built from many companies as Calberson, Bourget-Montreuil, VFLI, and Captrain. Since 2008, SNCF company is subsidiary. Not produced IBM are transported worldwide by Geodis. So, Geodis IT. The staff is centralized in Bourget-du-Lac in Savoie for the infrastructure and administration, exploitation, and help desk level 1 and 2. And it's around 150 people are working in Geodis IT. Dispatched between Paris and in many other town country for development, level 3 ERP support, and 100, it means 100 of people.
You don't know exactly the number. There is too many.
Yes. So the relationship between IBM I and Geodis. We are managing 2 data centers in Switzerland, each other distanced by 10 kilometers. We've got 2 Power 8 with 55 IBM I partitions from 18 production partitions with 9 different ERP. Some of these partitions are plenty of IASP, and the migration on Power 9 is planned in 2021. So 2 SBC are plugged in the storage. The storage. Thank you, Bruno. With 100 of terabytes. The high availability is assured by the metro mirroring between the 2 SBC. So the problem to solve. The problem to solve is the same since several years. The night becomes too short. We don't have any time slot to make our backup. With an infrastructure like Geodis, with worldwide users, 24/7 and every day of the year activity, in competition with batch job backup, including full backup, test data to refresh from prod data. Many actions taken are taken to reduce time of all other components. Finally, the backup becomes the most critical. So how to reduce the backup time and reliability? To do the backup on the high availability configuration, in our case, storage metro mirroring, it's not possible because the mirrored disks are not usable at all, even in read mode. We can also do save while active, but it needs a long time to wait to get the synchro point, risk of locked objects, and the log of and to log the night job in state issue. We can meet some problem of consistency in the database if we have to restore all of the database. No save 21. So now, how to reduce the backup time reliability? We can use flash copy solution as a snapshot. First of all, an IBM system engineer developed some script to launch flash copy, but We don't have any problem determinations. We cannot manage bugs and maintenance, and we didn't have any support. Then an IT software engineer firm proposed a more packaged solution, but we met the same problems.
These IT firms told to Geodis about M81 and Flash4i products. Flash4i is a fully packaged product, easy to install, to run, and to upgrade. No script needed, real maintenance, outline support and evolutions, many languages, and nice references. So let's talk about Flash4i product. Flash4i is installed on each IBM I partition. It manages the flash copy functions from IBM I, and it fully automates all the action needed from before and after the flash copy. There are many settings to tune the soft as close as you need for your applications. And it provides all the histories, the logs, the reports, and the monitoring needed. You can follow everything with Flash4i. And then let's see, how do we proceed? If you need some more information, you can contact directly M81. So how do we proceed? We stop the application. It takes some few minutes. We launch the flash copy, also for a few minutes, and then we restart the application. Just to also a few minutes, and it means that there is an unavailability time of the production between 15 and 30 minutes. You can now use this again time to do something else like update or whatever. Then Flash4i starts a clone partition with the clone disk in restricted mode. And from the clone, we can do our backups like daily or fully, weekly, annually, every backups. So we saw in Geodis that Flash4i is definitely a nice product for us. The average daily backups time reduced from many hours to 30 minutes. It's a good thing for us. Instead of many hours in restricted mode every week, it takes less than 30 minutes, sometimes including IPL time for some partitions. And very important, the reliability of the backup is good, very good. No consistency problem, no object locked, all objects are saved, and the save 21 are done. It works fine for us and Serenity when it comes to backup. Let's have a look to the project agenda in Geodis. We started in September 2017 for the demo from M81, followed by the adoption in December. Next February, we got the pilot installation, followed by the full validation. And at the end of year 2017, the deployment was finished for 13 partitions. Some of them don't need to reduce backup windows, so we didn't install Flash4i on them. And during the 2 next years, there were 3 upgrades from version 1 to 3. It was an easy project, yes. In the future, we planned 3 actions in 2021. An upgrade to version 4. We may have some optimization opportunity with flash copy on the high availability mirror disk. And some new and very interesting usage are coming, like generate regularly clone from production partitions to be used as non-production partitions. It's better solution rather than refresh data. Very better, faster and better. So to conclude, we have a very good feeling with Flash4i. It's a nice product. It helps us every day to have a nice backup, and it makes our backups far more agile. and we'll continue to add more services, of course. So thanks to Flash4i, thanks to M81, thanks to Bruno and Pascal, and thanks to the IBM I system. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bruno.
Roland. So don't hesitate to ask questions to Roland. I will make a small conclusion because you understood that M81 is my employer. So I am the sales, marketing, and partners manager because we sell the product 100% through resellers, integrators, and MSP over the world, now over the world. So until 6 months, we were only in Europe, and now we are also starting in Latin America, in USA, and in Middle East. So if you have no questions, I will just do a small conclusion. So that means that we spent only 15 minutes. We will spend only 15 minutes on the 30 minutes. So if you agree, I can also swap on a small PowerPoint to explain you more technically how Flash4i works. So if you want to stay, don't hesitate. So I told you that we are a software developer. We are developing only on IBM I, and we are developing system softwares. The three software we have developed are those one. Control4i. Control4i allows you to integrate in your monitoring solution, your enterprise monitoring solution, 130 controls or checks which are monitoring the IBM I. Those checks are developed and are very easy to use for IBM I specialists because they are IBM I commands. Flash4i, you understood it was a product used by Geodis. Thank you again to Roland. And the third one, it is Recover4i. The idea is to have incremental backups, for example, every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes. And if you have a corruption of data, or if you don't have any HA solution and you have only a cold backup, then you restore your last backup, and then the product Recover4i will apply automatically all the incremental backups, and you will lost only 5 minutes or 10 minutes of data instead of many hours if you had to restore your last backup. So just you will be able to download the PowerPoint. So you will have our contact informations. We also have an exclusive reseller and distributor in all the German countries. That means Germany, in the German-speaking countries, sorry, Germany, Austria, and part of Switzerland. And we have, as told, more than 30 active resellers. Just a small draft on all our resellers. Of course, there is more resellers in France than in other countries because we started more it's 5 years ago to sell in France and only 2 years ago to sell out of France. Here are some customers' name. Also, you can see there is big ones and small ones from every country in Europe and from any kind of industry. I'm sure you will find an industry near of your industry. And last thing, before to explain you more technically how works Flash4i, it is M81 is a galaxy, a spiral galaxy, and the founder of M81 likes astronomy, so he found this galaxy very nice and very. I hope we will have the same quality of than this galaxy. So this galaxy is far from here, 12 million light years from Earth. Not so soon. We are much more near. Okay. So it's 15 exactly. I will. So if you, it seems that you don't have any more question in the chat. Ian, you can confirm me that there is no more questions in the chat.
Yeah, I see no questions either. So go ahead and show the technical details if you would like.
Okay. So you understand that Flash4i was a product which manages the flash copy function. It is an extraordinary function on the external storage. IBM calls this function flash copy, and all the other vendor calls this function snapshot. So maybe you know more the term snapshot than flash copy. You can see at the bottom of the slide that you have a drive, LTO drive, because the main usage of the Flash4i product, it is to do backup. But you understood that there are also many other usages. So let's zoom again more technically on the backup usage of Flash4i. You understood it was not, and you know it is not easy to have a night backup windows because of the activity. Roland explained it to us, and the idea is to do a clone of the production partition disks. Then you run the backup on another partition. So you need to have external storage, IBM and non-IBM, plus the product Flash4i, and this product will activate the snapshot or the Flash4i function and will do many things. I imagine that you know, everybody knows what is flash copy, what are flash copy functions. It is called instant copy, okay? It is not a replication, it is a copy, and it is immediate. You have 10 gigabyte, 100 gigabyte, 10 terabyte, 100 terabyte. We have a 100 terabyte customer. In 2 seconds, the 100 terabytes are copied. So it might be completely incredible, but it is in fact the software of the storage which built very clever indexes to be able to give you the idea that the disks are completely cloned. You can see on the figure that you have one disk, and this disk might be cloned in this figure 3 times, but you can clone it up to 256 times, okay? And you can see that there is not so many data in each clone. It is the work of this system and the index system. It is not your work. That means that the product that's a flash copy function is really space efficient. It is one option of the flash copy to be space efficient. That means that, for example, if you keep this copy of your production data during 24 hours, one day, before to clean it and to restart a new clone to do a new backup, you will use on your storage around 10 or 15% of the initial storage of your disks. Of course, if you keep those clone disks more time, let's say 1 month, then you might use 40%, 50% or more. It depends on the quantity of updates you are doing on your production disks. So the kind of connection, we don't mind if you are connected through VIOS and switches, or if you are connected through direct attach. We support both connection. And let's see a small animation to explain you more step by steps how Flash4i works. Here you have a simple, simplified schema of production partition using external disk on the storage. Then before to install the product, you have to set up a future clone partition and a future set of disks on the storage. Then you install the Flash4i product on the production partition. And then you just have one command to type or to include in your scheduler or to insert in your batch jobs. And this command, what will it do? First, the flush of the memory. That means that active data in the memory will be copied in some seconds, or it might take maybe 1 minute. It depends on the size of your memory. Those data will be copied on your disk. Then immediately after, there is the flash copy function which is started. That means that your production disk are copied. Okay, they are here. You can use them. And of course, during this time, the production partition can continue. One information, during the flush of the memory and during the flash copy, you can continue to work. People connected on the machine won't see that you are doing a flush of memory or a flash copy. Of course, if you do a copy to do a backups, you have to have the less users and the less batch jobs which are running. At the minimum, the less. At the maximum, no batch and no users. Geodis decided to stop the application. He has applications which are able to stop in, let's say, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's okay. If you have application which cannot stop so quick, and if you want to keep your machine completely up, then you can do a flash copy, a hot flash copy. That means on the flow. Of course, you have to choose a better moment. Then Flash4i will continue, will start a clone partition on the clone disk. Then Flash4i will make this clone partition inoffensive. That means that IP address will be changed, the scheduler will be stopped. So Flash4i will do half a dozen different operations to make this partition completely inoffensive and to allow you to use this partition in competition with the production partition without any trouble. Then, depending on the setup of Flash4i, you will decide to ask to the clone partition to do a backup. Any kind of backup, we will see it later. And of course, you can do the backups on the material you use generally. That means VTL, LTO, disk, what you want, or what you already know, and all what is already connected to the server. And what is very important, it is to send back many informations on the production partitions. So informations are sent on the flow or on the fly, sorry, immediately. Every 1 minute there are information sent to the production partition. And of course, at the end of the activity of the clone partition, for example, BRMS tables are sent back to the production partition. Why do we need to feed the production partition? Because when all this is finished, you will decide through Flash4i always to stop the clone partition, then to stop the flash copy, and then your clone disks are erased. You don't have any more clone disk. That means you lose every information, every job log, every history, every BRMS information, if you use BRMS, of course. So it is very important to get all those information on your production partition to be able to find back what happens on your production partition, or to have an updated catalog of BRMS if you are using BRMS. The types of backup you can do on the clone and which you can set up in Flash4i are BRMS 1 or BRMS 21. That means a full backup from BRMS. You can use save 21. In this case, the clone partition will be started in restricted mode. That means you don't need to change IP address or nothing, because restricted mode, you don't have any access. Or you can use your backup programs you are using since months or years. It is an IBM-I product, Flash4i. It's driven from the IBM-I. It is a single command, FL clone, with only one parameter, the name of an environment. In many cases, there are only 3 or 4 environments. One environment for daily backup, another one for weekly backup, for monthly backup, and yearly backup, for example. But we found also firms which uses, like Geodis will do it this year, next year, sorry, to generate clones to be used as pre-production environment or test environment, or to generate clones to do recovery disks. So the FL clone command will replace your usual backup commands in your programs or in your scripts or in your scheduler. And if you don't want to use only one command, we provide you 4 different commands with 4 steps. A little and quick show to explain you the other usage of Flash4i. Let's see this track. You can see that there are people who are trying to repair it when the truck is running. So I'm sure your people don't debug programs on your production partition. So it's not really a good idea, but sometimes you cannot do anything else. So please generate for them pre-production partitions in some minutes to be the nearest of the production. So pre-production that you could generate every day, why not? Maybe they will prefer to repair or to try to debug, sorry, not to repair the track on the pre-production instead of the production partition. You know that you need to anonymize your database to provide to the test or to the developers. It's a complex thing, a complex operation. You need time. Okay, please create for the developers a cloned anonymization LPAR or partition. They will be happy, and you will also be happy. Let's illustrate those other usage. Again, flash copy, and this time instead of backup, you can do extraction to feed the data warehouse application, or you can, of course, I already told it, anonymize, or you can do requests on this on those disks, on those tables, and of course we can continue to inform your production partition about all you have done with the clone partition. And why not start a second flash copy? And this flash copy will also be started. Those disks will be used by a second clone partition, and you can use them for testing, education, or whatever. Is it finished? No. Why not to continue to make more flash copy? Let's say a flash copy every 4 hours. And then you can, with Flash4i, start one clone partition 4 hours before or 8 hours before. Why? To do statistics, to do comparison, or why not to do recovery? You lost a table, a clear PFM, or a guy that you hire and who clear PFM before the tables before to go, or you can imagine bugs in your main batch program. You can imagine many things which could happen on your tables. Then you can go back, so 1 hour, 5 hours, 10 hours back, rather to go back to your last tape backup. Of course, those copies of the disk, you can backup them on tapes. What is important, it is that Flash4i is able to manage many clone operations and many partitions to use the clone disks. This is to summarize the different usage of our product. We have listed 11 different usage, but what is important, it is that new customer or existing customer always discover new usage of this cloning of the IBM-I disks. So last thing about prerequisite, very little prerequisite. Version 7, release 1, HMC, yes, you need HMC. External disk, it's written. The small free license program. BRMS network option is better than to have no BRMS option if you are using BRMS. For the storage on all the IBM family, the software that we support is very old, 8 years old. So you don't have any problem with the prerequisite on the software. And of course, you need the flash copy or the snapshot license on your storage. Sometimes it is not included in the package or in the bundle. And space, I already told you, if you use the clone for backups less than 20% of the production size, for other purpose, it depends on the life duration of the clone, and we will be able to help you to try to estimate this size. Last thing, and I have finished, you can buy the license or you can rent the license through subscription. We can do for you remote web demonstration or workshops or try and buy. And we have, of course, and our partners have very strict implementation mode. It spans between 1 and 3 days, depending on what you want to do and how complex is your organization. Just our strengths, okay? You can imagine that we are on the right. We are doing many things. You will be able to read all what makes our product a real product, clever product, easy to use. 90% of the installation don't need any development nor script. Okay, all is made through menu, screens, functions, and if you want more, demo, registered video, and I just show you 6 screens. It's green screens. They are green screens. The menu, the list of the environments you have to select, and some feedbacks, instant feedbacks on what happens on the clone partition, history of what happens during the cloning and the backup, and history of all the clone you have done. Okay, and if you want, we will be able also to explain you some specific context with HA solution where you can do the clone on different storage, local or remote. And if you want, we can explain you also how to do cascading with flash copy. It's now the real end. We are 2 minutes more than the 30 initial minutes. And I think that you don't have any question. Maybe you can send us emails or things like that if needed. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Yann. Thank you to Roland.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Roland. This is the end of the session. I'm going to close the Zoom, and you can go back into the main meeting where another session will begin in 7 minutes. See you soon.